Excellencies, colleagues, it is a pleasure to be joining you today, and I thank the President of the General Assembly for convening us with this focus on practical solutions and partnerships. Indeed, climate action requires activation of the full international system, not only the UNFCCC. This is a guiding outlook for my country. From our upcoming term in the Security Council to the World Expo in Dubai, where earlier this month we were honored to host the PGA for the opening week dedicated to new technologies, financing models, and policies for climate mitigation and adaptation. I'd like to highlight 3 areas where I believe we can make rapid progress to implement the Paris Agreement. First, there is now a compelling economic case for net zero across a wide spectrum of market structures. The UAE earlier this month announced its initiative to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. It is a whole-of-country undertaking bringing on board government agencies, companies, and civil society. However, it is not only about reducing emissions. This initiative is rooted in the UAE's 15-year history of low-carbon investments and the strong returns we've seen from solar power to mandatory building codes to mangrove planting. These returns validate a new development model where climate action drives growth, innovation, and job creation. Of course, each country must identify its own economic pathway to global objectives. And the UAE is committed to working with all partners to this end, especially in the framework of our recent offer to host COP28 in 2023. Second, we are thankfully starting to see the breakthroughs in food systems that we urgently need in the face of climate change. At COP26, the UAE, the United States, and over 30 partners, many of them speaking in today's meeting, will be launching the Agriculture Innovation Mission for Climate, AIM4C. Our goal is to significantly increase investment by 2025 in new and improved technologies and approaches that help food producers adapt to a harsher climate and reduce global greenhouse gas emissions, coming from food systems that account for over 1/3 of the global share today. We welcome more partners to join us. Third, there is clear-cut evidence that gender equality and youth empowerment results in better outcomes from climate action. We must ensure that gender equality and youth engagement are at the core of climate policy and funding, and we all must work to ensure that our climate delegations achieve equitable representation. Within the UN system, quotas, gender, youth advisors, and advisory boards are all proven tools to ensure inclusion. As climate change is the defining multilateral issue of our era, it requires everyone's active participation. Thank you to the PGA for his leadership in forging this broad and deep coalition.